Today I'm going to show you how to build this carousel for an IKEA corner cabinet, and this is why we love it so much, because you get full use of this cabinet, and the cabinets are fully versatile and easy to adapt. You get the pull-out function, you don't have to crawl into the inside corner, and so with that, let's show you how to build it and install it. So today, I'm Cody with Up to Code, by the way. We're going to run through this Utrusta, something like that, close. This is the carousel for the 47-inch, I call it the lineal corner cabinet. It's my favorite cabinet for, well, it's way better than a Lazy Susan. Now, sometimes you got to use the Lazy Susan just for space sake, but if you have the opportunity, that's the corner cabinet. You're going to see it in a sec, but we're going to build this carousel. Now, before you start, one thing, I've been trying to iterate this more and more in these IKEA videos. You're going to get a shopping list when you purchase your cabinets. If you don't, you should ask about it. It'll tell you cabinet number that's associated with some sort of 3D image, so you know which cabinet they're referring to. And in each section, it'll tell you what parts go with that cabinet. So it's easy to organize everything so that you know that this is going with that 47-inch cabinet. And it's just got the part numbers, everything's easy to understand. One thing that I want to iterate, this is whether it's these directions or any IKEA directions, when you open it up, you're looking at the images, this one in the top left shows corner cabinet with the door placement on the left, which is not us. Where this placement, where the door is on the right, go to page 15. So this is just super important. This tip you want to use on all IKEA directions. So we'll flip to page 15, and then it tells you that you're going to use the whatever 125 degree hinges. It should actually be on that shopping list broken down per cabinet. So step number one is taking this jig, lining the big arrows up into the corners, the front two corners, and punching the 4 holes for the base plate. So let's go do that. So Cody does is he just lines it up as per the pictures. I don't use the punch, I'm just going to use my drill with a super tiny bit just to make a mark. Now I'm just going to look at the directions, and it tells me that this little device, and we're going to double check that these little nubs, for lack of a better word, are going to face front to back. So we're just going to do that. It tells you what screws to use. It's a flat head, which means it's flat on the top. So we'll put those in now. So this little spinning pole device is next. Look at the photos, because right here, it's going to show you just a detailed picture. But what it's trying to show you is right here, we have a choice of a notch with an L, or we have the choice of going to the right. Now the photo on the diagram tells us that the notch should go with the one on the L. So that notch right there matches with the L. Push that down. Do the same for this one. Spin this bad boy around. And it should look, their pictures are actually pretty accurate. So if we look at the picture, I'm just going to drop these pins in. So I like the bottom shelf as low as possible. We'll figure out how those sit in a minute. We're going to tweak it, my friends. We're still going to tweak it. So again, we're just going to follow the pictures. This slot at the bottom fits into this bracket with those nubs, the technical term. It drops in. If you look at the photo, these brackets are facing towards the back. And this just lines up perfectly with the holes, and it tells me exactly which holes to use and which screws. But these ones are just a little bit thicker. They have the flat head because they're going into a pre-drilled hole. So let's just put those in now. only use an impact if you have lots of control. If not, use a screwdriver. And then it tells us to use 2 of the finer wood screws in these 2 top holes. Let's build the actual shelves now. If I orientate everything according to what the directions tell me, it's so much easier. So I have this piece. I have, I think, 8 holes, little ones poking upward, which is upside down. This is the good side, so obviously the holes aren't there. So you just got to keep an eye out for the details. Now, in this one photo, it actually shows a square pattern of where this frame's going to sit. So it's right there. And I had to look carefully on which screw or which holes to use. And same thing with this rack. It's showing that it's V'd, it's pointing the same direction. It's going to go here. Now, I'm going to use this hole and this hole because that's what the diagram shows me. That one and that one. So it's going to be off kilter to the world. And if the screw holes line up, then you're laughing. So those are working. And then you have to spin this. Oh yeah, so you got to slide that over so the other holes line up. Cool. All right, let's find the screws that we need to use. So there's 4 of them. If you look, they're a pan head, so they're rounded and they have the pointed tip. And that's what the diagram is showing me. So these little clippies, that smooth side faces inward, the hollow side faces the outsides. So we're just going to slide that in. I don't know, I'll figure that out. We're going to use these little screws, same ones in the photo. Now we get to flip it over and do the satisfying part of popping these little rail clips in. And we just got to look at the photo again and make sure we face in the right direction. Yeah, so the hook faces inward because this metal rail is going to fit in there. See how awkward I could do this. Perfect. All right, these little stoppers, 1 per shelf, tells us to put it right here. So that way it doesn't bash the inside of the cabinet when you open it and close it. All right. Now it's time to hang this thing. Okay. So we have 2 positive hooks on these brackets, so we really just have to drop this shelf down and we don't have to hold it while trying to set some screws. So let's go down, and right here, it just sits. We got to screw it first, my friend. So let's show you how this thing works. Oh, hello. You ready?
I'm ready.
This is my favorite part. That's why I love this cabinet. Full access to an inside corner lower cabinet, which usually doesn't happen. And that has to just... And one reason why we love IKEA, and especially these corner carousels, is they are fully adjustable. Not that a little awkward doing it, but I just dropped this pin. Not the smoothest, but fully adjustable. Full use of your corner cabinet. And now if I want to change the heights, I just lift it up, pull that pin. Good to go. That's why we love IKEA. Ready? Go.
Ready.
Ready a long time ago.
Yep.
Okay.
Waiting on you.
Story of everybody's life. I made that. My hair's flowing in the wind. Ugly anyway. Even if my wife cut my hair, I'm still ugly.